The way to the holiest was not yet manifested. Tom's 5 minutes. One puzzle piece a day until the whole Bible comes into view. 1. The key to Hebrews. The way into the holiest of all was not yet made manifest, while as the first tabernacle was yet standing. Hebrews 9:8. The writer was not merely speaking about a building. The Jerusalem temple represented the entire Old Covenant system, its priesthood, sacrifices, ceremonies, and covenant order. 2. The temple was still standing. Hebrews describes priests who still standeth daily, ministering and offering oftentimes the same sacrifices. Hebrews 10:11. The temple was still functioning. The sacrifices continued. The Levitical system remained active. As long as that covenant order stood, the way into the holiest was not yet fully manifested. 3. The first tabernacle represented the Old Covenant. The first tabernacle represented the law of Moses, the Levitical priesthood, animal sacrifices, ceremonial washings, covenant separation, imposed on them until the time of Reformation. Hebrews 9:10. The temple was the visible symbol of the Old Covenant world. 4. The Holy of Holies was a cube. 20 cubits in length, 20 cubits in breadth, and 20 cubits in height. 1 Kings 6:20. Length equals breadth equals height. A perfect cube. Only the high priest could enter. Only once each year. Only with blood. The veil restricted access to God's presence. 5. 40 years of heavenly silence. After Christ offered himself as the perfect sacrifice, the temple rituals continued, but Scripture records no further heavenly confirmation of that system. The priests continued, the sacrifices continued, the feasts continued, yet heaven's redemptive focus had shifted to Christ. After he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of God. Hebrews 10:12. For approximately 40 years, the Old Covenant stood as an aging system, ready to vanish away. Hebrews 8:13. 6. The Old Covenant passed away. Jesus foretold, "There shall not be left here one stone upon another." Matthew 24:2. The temple was not merely a building, but the visible symbol of the Old Covenant order. When that covenant world passed away, the sacrifices ceased, the priesthood ceased, and the shadows gave way to reality. 7. The New Jerusalem is also a cube. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. Revelation 21:16. Length equals breadth equals height. A cube, just like the Holy of Holies. The New Jerusalem is the fulfillment of God's dwelling place among His people. 8. What a Jewish reader would see. A first-century Jew would immediately recognize the symbolism. The Holy of Holies was the only cubical structure in Israel's worship system. Seeing a cubical New Jerusalem, they would not think of architecture first. They would think of the Holy of Holies. The message was astonishing. What was once restricted to one priest once a year had expanded to encompass all God's covenant people. 9. No temple in the city. And I saw no temple therein. Revelation 21:22. Why? Because the city itself has become the Holy of Holies. No veil, no earthly priesthood, no animal sacrifices, no restricted access. 10. Conclusion. Hebrews 9:8 tells us that the way into the holiest was not yet manifested while the first tabernacle was standing. The first tabernacle represented the entire Old Covenant order centered in the Jerusalem temple. That covenant was growing old and ready to vanish away. The Holy of Holies was a cube. The New Jerusalem is a cube. The message is profound. The Holy of Holies has expanded from a room to a people. The veil is gone. The temple is gone. The old covenant is gone. The way into the holiest has been manifested. God now dwells with His people in the covenant reality symbolized by the cubical New Jerusalem. If this study has blessed you, please subscribe to Tom's 5 Minutes Bible Study, share it with your friends and Bible study groups, and leave your questions in the comments.